I've had this code CRM 20B2. It's the code for Hall Sensor 3. It's been a problem for a while. Short to ground, hoping that I don't have to replace the sensor, that I can just do a wire repair. But this is a long overdue repair and I'm finally getting around to it. Okay, that was kind of easy. Let's go around to the other side. Okay, this one's a little bit more difficult. And there it goes. After removing the seats, you have to adjust the roof into service position. You can do this manually. I don't know how to do it manually. Fortunately, I have Vita. Roof's in service position, and you can see it over there. Kind of did a quick tie off to prevent the lid from settling in. Next step, remove this seat belt from the slide rail. You want to get to that screw right there. After you remove the screw from this front sill, you remove this sill, which apparently has only got 4 clips. Well, I may have broken that clip. So for the side panel, you're supposed to pull from the top. There's 3 hidden clips, apparently. So now you can see the side panel removed, and you have the 3 clips in the top as you pull it up. And then there's one on this side that was giving me a little trouble, and then down here you just kind of jiggle it and pull inward to the inside of the car. The connector is down here, and let's see if we can do this one-handed. It's free. And finally we see Hall Sensor 3, and that's where it's been all along. And not sure how it goes under and back and ties in. I need to find a break in the wire. If you're kidding. Found my break in the wire. Okay. Yeah, that would explain the ground short. Pulled the retaining pins on this black shield, but it won't come off because these connectors are also connected to the shield, so no way around it but to disconnect them. Following the green trunk harness and pulling it down, you finally get to see the brakes here. So need to remove this tape and figure out how I can make a clean connection between those two. One thing about this Hall Sensor 3 is from the green trunk harness and following up, you can see the brown wire goes to the harness, but the yellow wire continues up to the sensor or elsewhere, but they run in different directions. Made the connections there, and I'll feed them down, and hopefully the other two will be easier, because I didn't think that there would still be a gap after taking the heat gun to them, but lesson learned. And that's what we've got. It's probably not pretty. There it is. Nice. Okay, so fingers crossed that worked. Need to kind of button everything up. So let's give it a whirl. Otherwise, that's it. Finally fixed. Within 3 or 4 roof operations, it came back. The mistake I made really boils down to I routed the brown wire on one side of the cylinder and the yellow wire on the other side of the convertible roof cylinder. And obviously when it went to go operate, it broke the wire. So leading to that mistake was, and I went back to the original video, I routed the wire from Hall sensor 3 on this side when that wasn't how I found it. I should have routed it the way I found it on the forward side of this white label. Now, trying to, and it wound up with a break in the yellow wire further up underneath the side panel, and now it's even harder to get to. Tracing the wire, the yellow wire goes back to the trunk operation, and it follows the wire here. Somebody else did the splice before they owned the car, and then basically I've had to follow the yellow wire up to where a zip line was holding it, cut that so I can get a little bit more slack to loosen it up to bring it down where I can access it. Went back to the Hall sensor 3 and spliced some additional wire to give me more slack, and once I figure out the connections behind the side panel where they're not so tight and they got more give, then I'll just cut off excess. I'm hoping that's enough slack that I won't wind up with any more breaks. See if that does the trick. Let's take a look. Now it showed green last time, so it was fine until it broke. So I'm gonna go ahead and update everything. So that's a positive sign. But again, last time got that also, so I need to cycle the roof several times. There is one thing, however, want to check. The yellow button of death. So Hall sensor 3 is associated with this. I have never used this thing. Before I even knew what it was or even knew it was there, I was reading online, don't mess with it, so I never did. With one exception, after the last repair, I tried, and at that point, that's when I got the fault again. So in other words, this has never worked for me. Holy Hannah. It actually worked. Go. So try the yellow button again. Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, tell me when.
Go ahead. Go ahead and close it. Okay. So we've operated the roof, we've operated the trunk lift, and I think it's okay. So I'll drive it around for a bit and do another update. This time I'll probably operate the roof several more times for closing everything up.